Sometimes we need to do crazy things to find out a bit more about the game Football Manager. Now, what would happen to your save if you suddenly were faced with teams with players looking like this? Not just one player looking like this, but maybe up to 10. Would you be able to win a single game? Over on Twitch, I've got a save going on where you are the agent of some of these super Nugents. Yes, I like to call them super Nugents because the subscribers on the show have the power to affect the transfers, the development of these players, deciding what kind of traits these guys should have. So in the end, they all end up looking like Superman on steroids. The goal of this save was very simple. What would happen to me as a manager of Bayer Leverkusen if I had to suddenly come up against teams powered by all these superhumans on steroids? I can't go out there and sign any of these players and add them to my own squad. The subscribers on my show, well, they now have the power to basically make my save a lot more harder. There are several lessons that we can take from this experiment and apply them to our own game of Football Manager. Right at the top of the list has got to be, where do you send your players out on loan to? Now, most people out there, when they're playing the game, they want to pick the best clubs to send their players out on loan. So if you have a player who might have a low current ability and you decide, okay, fine, I get a chance, I'll send him to Manchester City on loan. Perhaps he's going to, develop there because Manchester City is a great club. Wrong. If your player's current ability is very low, you need to choose the right kind of league and the right kind of team. You have to choose the team which fits that player. Because if you send him out to a team which has got better players, your player might not end up playing. Your player might end up, getting worse over time, and his development actually stalls. How do you know what kind of club to send him to? Now, essentially, the game has got something called current ability. So what you want is check out his current ability stars. Now, if his current ability stars are less than 2, please don't send him to any side like a championship side. A good level of competition for him might even be League One football. Allow him the chance to play at a level where his current abilities actually suggest that he might be a starter for his team. 2, please don't send him to a side that is going to get relegated, because if he's going to be losing a lot of games, it's not going to help with his confidence. He's always going to be on the losing end. Please send him to a side that has got a reasonable chance of doing well. We don't need them to win the title. We just need them to win more games than they lose. One of the biggest lessons I learned, and it's good to be in a safe where you once in a while get to be on the receiving end of a lot of defeats. And it opened up an entire new world for me because it suddenly made it apparent that there are certain things that you need to do if you're on a bad run. There are 2 things that can happen on Football Manager. 1, your players become unhappy because they want to leave for a better club. Even this guy wants to leave. To solve this, either you finish in the Champions League spots, the players become happy, they stay at your club. If you can't finish in the Champions League spots, you need to have a plan B. Be prepared to let those players go, bring in a fresh player of players, and play to your tactical strengths. Tactically, I learned a lot of lessons playing against these super players as well. 1, well, you can have different kinds of tactics for different kinds of teams. But then you're going to have a lot of headaches because you're going to have to keep up with all the small little changes that you have to make across multiple tactics. On top of that, what about player rotation? Major headache. The second plan, the one I've gone to, is to play to one tactical system, understand the minute changes you need to make in that system, and then scour the world for the best players to play in that system. And then, do your best. And that has worked out for me. There are certain things I've come to realize about the game itself, Football Manager. Now, it was very interesting to see the AI having up to 9 of these super Nugents over at Mainz. Mainz turned into one kind of a behemoth team with all these players. But even with all these Nugents in there, they failed to win the Champions League. I mean, against, of all teams, Tottenham Hotspur, which shocked me because I was kind of surprised. I find that the AI doesn't always recognize that it's got all these players. And on top of that, there was the club had something like $300 million. I mean, they even had a $200 million transfer budget. However, there wasn't a lot of depth to this squad, which made it kind of strange because they would do well at the start of a game and fade away once those Nugents were taken off. And yes, it makes me think that perhaps one area of the game SI need to address is the AI squad management. I think as far as building depth in a squad, more can be done, because you would think that most clubs would try to have at least a decent reserve player on the bench for the tactical system they're using. On top of that, if a club had unlimited access to funds, you would think that they would be a lot more aggressive in the transfer market. It doesn't appear to be the case, and I'm very interested to see how this Destiny save continues. Now, the whole series wasn't originally created by me. It was created by FM Guru, and I want to thank him for letting me use the format for my own series. It's slightly different from his, but generally we follow the same principles. And I've learned a lot about the game in the last couple of weeks, and yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, it's fun to lose to these players, and it's especially rewarding when you actually get a win against them. So in case you guys are wondering, if you have more questions about this, please drop in me a note below and I will try and get back to you. Once again, I want to thank everybody for participating in this challenge, and I want to thank you for watching the show. You guys stay safe, take care of each other. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. What a ball. What a ball from Bongsbo, man. We are building defender gets an assist. Check this out. What a play from Bongsbo. It goes up and then we get the pass. Oh, beautiful second goal. Iban, Terra, Reader, Schumacher turns, finds Sesko.